Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, October 25th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll be having a Time for Change call this Wednesday at 9 p.m. and a Reverse Aging Health call on Friday at 9 p.m. Wednesday and Friday. Honor everything inside you. Every cell of your body is divine. Every thought and feeling is sacred. There is nothing that does not touch this deep, eternal, loving being that you are. Rest deeply in knowing this one truth today. Sometime today, take about 45 minutes to rest deeply inside yourself, to the very core of your own presence. Remain here as long as possible and let it rejuvenate every cell in your body-mind. It is from this space that you will understand how you are the center of all creation and exactly how to manifest everything you desire. The day on which we come to know the supreme consciousness within us, then the outside world will also appear to us like the expanse of the supreme consciousness. The whole will be a mirror to us when we become a mirror within. If we stand near a stone, then we will be able to see ourselves even in the stone ocean. There are so many thoughts flying through our minds every day. Now, the average human thinks about 60,000 plus thoughts every 24 hours. These are the thoughts that come from us, that we create. No wonder we may get lost living up in our heads and have a hard time keeping track of it all. The mind is a highly activated thinking machine, and it's always presenting us these succulent creative gifts. We can do whatever we wish with these thoughts. We can ignore them, welcome them in deeper, invite them to flow in stronger, store some of them away in our subconscious closet, or have fun unwrapping one delicious thought after the other, savoring each one thoroughly. The thought that places us in complete power of our lives is the one to dwell deeply. The concept which opens our minds up to a universe of new possibilities is the one which needs to be adored and cherished all day long. The thought which ignites the most awesome creative force inside you is best to be held permanently sacred and true. If you wish to manifest the most outrageous success in your life, my invitation for you is to meditate upon perhaps one of the most enlightening and empowering thoughts that will ever be tossed across the creative canvas of the mind. The thought I'd like to play with this week is that you are the highest authority in your life. This thought means that there is nobody and no thing outside of you who has more power than you. You are the highest authority in your life, this life. This means that there is nobody and no thing outside of you who has more power than you. You are the creator of your destiny, and you are constantly manifesting the reality you see, smell, and taste, touch, hear, and experience around you. Whatever direction and dimension You are placing your attention in each micro moment is what you are seeing, experiencing, and manifesting more of. What's amazing is that all of these thoughts appear and disappear continuously out of a source of pure awareness. Everything you want or don't want is being created within this energy of awareness inside of you, each of us right now. And whatever you focus your mind upon will grow in energy and frequency. Do not strain yourself to understand all of life's mysteries at once. Accept each one as it comes and fit it into the jigsaw puzzle, knowing that bit by bit each piece will be shown to you and will fit into place perfectly. Become like an empty vessel ready to be filled. I mean, Kennedy. Everything in this life is multidimensional and multisensual. This means there are many more layers and levels to explore after we scratch the original surface. If you peer with an electron microscope into a drop of water, you will find layers of complex, unexplained miniature worlds within each deeper world. The great mystery of life multiplies, deepens, and expands the further we peer down the rabbit hole. The same applies to when we meditate on the concept that we are the ultimate authority of our reality. Take a few minutes to sit within the context of this concept and how it applies to your own life. Notice how this little exercise shifts your experience of being alive. When we initially meditate upon this idea for the first few days, we may have a variety of random responses. We may notice our minds rejecting it, denying it, trying to ignore it, or making up a dozen reasons explaining how and why we truly are not the ultimate authority of our reality. We may get caught up in old belief patterns that prove this idea to be completely wrong. Our minds may also surmise that we understand the idea completely and that there's nothing further to learn from it. We could also stop everything that we are thinking and surrender ourselves completely to this super potent idea, and soon discover a plethora of hidden realms and enlightening paradigms within ourselves, which we never knew existed. Whenever something extremely powerful is introduced into our lives, it tends to disrupt the normalcy we previously had, and we may unconsciously tend to avoid it. Be careful of avoiding this concept on any level, because it will place your life on the lower back burner, or worse, drop it into the bottom of the barrel. Whenever we start thinking that we already know everything there is to know about a particular subject, we believe it's a dead idea, and then we relate to that deadened energy within ourselves. There is always something to learn and master. Even the greatest artists work harder each to reach a higher state of perfection. When we look at the word authority, we see that has the word author in it. It has the word author in it. You are the ultimate author of your life, who is writing the script, telling the story and tale of who you are and who you are not. What is the story you most want to stop telling? What would happen if you simply stopped focusing on it? When we feel into the quality of being the author of our life's story, we can sense there's something firm, solid, and unmovable in it. This is because the foundation of our being is unshakable. We are the ones who are undefinable on a spiritual level. And yet, on a human level, we spend our entire existence defining and labeling everything around us with words and thoughts flowing through our minds. On a scientific perspective, being the author of your existence is proven in quantum mechanics. We know that the basic structure of existence, atoms, electrons, quarks, etc., exists for us only when we are looking at them. The moment we remove our attention, they mysteriously disappear as if they never existed at all. All quantum physicists agree that atoms, thoughts, don't actually exist in one particular location either. Meaning, if you never look at any one problem or personal issue again with your mind or imagination, never giving it any more energy, it simply disappears from your reality forever. Understand what that means. If you never look at any one problem or personal issue again with your mind or imagination, never giving it any more energy, it simply disappears from your reality forever. You are truly that powerful. Each of us are. We are the ones who decide what atoms exist and don't have priority or precedence inside our brains. We are the sole creators of the reality in our inner world. We are the ultimate authority, and nobody is higher, bigger, or more powerful than you. He who thinks he is the doer is also the sufferer. You are pure consciousness beyond limitations, and it is reached by investigation into the I, Ramana Maharishi. As you have noticed, the rabbit hole tends to become more twisted and complex the deeper we peer into it. Before the Grand Master, and being the Grand Master, and ultimate authority of your reality, is not actually a decision or a responsibility that you can create, lose, drop, or find one day destroyed. It is your natural essence and your true inherent nature. If you approach the concept trying to acquire it as if it were an idea that could be kept safe like a secret treasure, then that means one day you will feel that you lost it. You cannot acquire what you actually are. You cannot acquire what you actually are or lose connection with the source itself. You are not actually the sole doer here. Life is mastering itself, doing what it will through you. You can only forget and become ignorant of it by being distracted by more enticing, inviting things of this amazing world. You only need to remember that you are always the manifesting master of your reality and simply cannot be anything else. Another dimension and depth to this enlightening inquiry is asking yourself the top 10 questions you most need to ask yourself around it. For example, if you're not the authority of your life, then who are you? Are you in love with yourself and your life? If not, why not? How are you relating with others you love in your life? What's your relationship with the idea of being empowered, being an empowered conscious being? What would happen if you started interacting with everyone in your life from this reference point, that you are a relaxed, self-appointed authority of your reality? Are you trying to control others in your relationships, attempting to prove to yourself and them that you're the authority? What would your life be like to be free of any kind of disbelief around being the absolute creator of your reality. If you ask yourself, why are so many people not living this radiantly alive, self-mastered existence? You may find a lifetime of questions that soon follow. We have only imagined that we are powerless and fearful. We believed in the fabrication of this lie because others we loved believed in it. We have also have entire lifetimes of victim-like karma that says we are not responsible for creating every detail of our reality. It's from these powerless spokes of our karmic wheel that cause all the suffering in our lives. Once we can digest the truth that we are the center, the source of pure consciousness itself, that knows no failure, is totally timeless, transcendent of pain, beyond space, and free from all limiting beliefs, then we discover our spiritual doorway to total freedom. When we look at how our consciousness functions, we can't see that it behaves much like the hub of a wheel from which our entire lives radiate out from. As we see with any wheel, if it has no center, the radius and circumference cannot exist. You are this center, and so everything must stem from you. The spokes of the wheel are your thoughts and feelings, and the totality of the sphere represents your life. If you step back from it all, you can see that the center is completely unmoving, and this is what holds the entire wheel together. While the circumference and spokes continually move, change, and spin, the center remains fixed at the core. We can see things changing around us only because our center is unmoving. If the center was moving, everything would appear to be still. We need a solid reference point or point of view to see movement in action. We are that unmoving source which does not change, and thus are always influencing that which is around us. You are this fixed central sun, the source of creativity, creating your life in each moment by itself. You are a purely radiant infinite energy who is inventing everything around it in all directions. You were free before you were born. Your consciousness has always been continuously creating some version of reality, whether you were aware of it or not. Think about all the amazing things you've forgotten throughout the journey of your life. When we can remember what is vitally important, we return to our life purpose and mission. When we are aware that we are the ultimate authority of our every movement and every moment-to-moment reality, we are spiritually awakened and have a greater ability to control and decide which direction we want life to go. Through simply realizing we are the ultimate authority, we are free. Otherwise, our life acts a lot like a sailboat without a keel or a rudder, and our destiny is blown across the sea by the random yet highly intelligent direction of the wind. When you know you are the ultimate authority of your reality, you don't have to prove it to anybody, and especially not to yourself. From this self-realized perspective, you understand that you cannot lose your power. You always already are the hub. of the wheel, and nothing can take this away. You are the power, the core that is manifesting whatever you desire in your life. Never again can this be altered, and no longer are you enticed to play the victim, villain, hero, or unconscious saboteur in your relationships. Instead, you naturally become more of the self-realized, creative genius who is co-designing your entire reality from a place of enthusiastic love, lightness, and joy. One who knows the self has nothing more to do, nor has he any more thoughts from then on. The infinite power will carry out all further actions that may be necessary for him. The Maharishi. You are the supreme ruler of your inner world. This is your territory. When there is no more small you to be hurt or lost, you are truly free. Then you no longer have to unwillingly cross over another treacherous ocean of fear, pain, agony, separation, or lack to find that central paradise of calmness inside your heart and soul. When the ego is lost, the soul is found. When the ego is lost, the soul is found. And your thoughts no longer have power over you anymore. When you truly realize who or what is that force which is always ultimately creating your reality, and that you can never ever be separate from that again, then you claim your sovereign birthright to master this life in all its dimension and form. I was once afraid of people saying, "Who does she think she is?" Now I have the courage to stand and say, "This is who I am." So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. Now you know you're not the body. You're not the character. You're not the personality. You're the God within it. So, all the things that we attract, we actually create them and then attract. We attract, create, move energy and form, create it in reality. Thoughts. A worry is what we create. We create worries. We create fears. We create anxieties. We create anger. We create hatred. We create all this for ourselves. Nothing does it outside of us. We do it. And that's a deep understanding. It isn't a negative. What we do, we create everything. And the more we understand that, the more we will go deeper within to discover who and what we are. So the body, knowing this, why do you think that the majority of us are in stress? Some form. Doesn't have to be heavy. But some form of stress all the time. Because we're holding on to the external world. That's what we're doing. And some of us don't even care to let go of it because we don't know who and what we are. But the unknown is where all the possibilities are. Now, when you're standing on the shore of the raging river, and this river's raging, you could not traverse it on foot across it. Now, you have the bridge that you're standing in front of that goes directly over the river and connects to the other land across the bridge. Now, you don't know what's there. You can't see what's there. It's just fog and mist right at the entrance of it. But it's the unknown. How many of us will walk that bridge and enter the land of the unknown? Over that raging river beneath. Not knowing anything, what's there? How many of us? So once you begin to realize that you are the master of you, nobody else is. Nothing in this created world is. You are. Everything emanates from you. So if you don't care to fear, you will not fear. You give it attention, you will feed it and give it power. Doesn't mean you're drained. Because the fear was created by you anyway. Whatever it may be, we give it, we feed 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 it. And it expands and it grows and expands and it grows. But are we consciously aware of it? No, we're not. What happens when we become consciously aware? Then we're into mastering the ego mind. Because it doesn't care to have us figure out that we're the masters of ourselves, which means we end up mastering the ego mind. They don't care to have that happen. So they'll do everything they can to keep you off balance. So we gather all of these fears, worries, stresses, and anger. We feed them. Some of them we feed. None of us are exempt. We keep feeding some of them. And you ever noticed that through this life, how many things have you worried and worried and worried and stressed and feared? Did they ever happen? Did they ever happen? In most cases, no. How the ego tries to get you into believing, the most worst and horrible thing. That's what it does. We focus on and create what we desire. Period. Now, along with the desire, like lots of money, right? Lots of money. You have lots of money. You've never had lots of money. So what comes with that? The lots of money is wonderful, isn't it? So what comes with the lots of money? Responsibility. Right? Then you worry about the lots of money that you have. And you focus on the worry of maybe losing the lots of money that you have. You know how some people will say something like, I know this is going to happen. I just feel it in my bones. Right? And a lot of the times it happens. How is that to be? How can that be? Because you're that powerful. A lot of things will not happen if you don't want them to happen. That's it. You don't care to have them happen. So you focus on the things that you do want to have happen. And the body responds. You stay in a happy, lighthearted. What do you think the body's going to do? You're happy, you feel good. I mean genuinely, not faking it, not forcing it, but genuinely happy for no reason whatsoever. Because you're you. You're happy because you're you. What do you think that's going to do to the cells in your body? Have you ever met people that are always gregarious, giggle, laugh, smile, and they never really appear to be old and disheveled, do they? And it's all our choosing. Nobody else's. And you know when the body relaxes naturally? Because you're kind of in this beautiful void where you're not thinking, you're not worrying, you're not stressing, you're not fearing. As a matter of fact, you're not anything. You're doing nothing. And you focus on the breath. You listen to the breath. Your breath, which is divine positive energy. Why is it? It sustains the body that holds the kingdom of God, the God source, pure consciousness. Soul comes in, the body powers the body. Lungs start to function. Breath begins. It's divine positive energy. It's very powerful. So whenever, we're focused on our breath, we're in the now. We have left the mind, ego, and subconscious mind alone. We are not doing anything. We are being. You can do this with your body anytime, doesn't matter where. But as long as you're focused on that breath, you're in the now. And the now, of course, still is the mind and the ego. Now picture in front of you 3 circles. Kind of like pads. One in the center is real vibrant, looks brand new. That's the now. That's where we're at right here and now. We're in the now. One on the left is the past. It's worn. Doesn't have the shine that the middle pad has, the now. On the right is the future. That pad is also worn. Now, all of us, none of us are exempt to wander off into the future at times or wander off into the past. Okay? But understand something. We are so powerful that we could go to either one and stay there. Always living in the future. Always wondering what's going to happen a day from now, 10 days from now, a year from now. What are you going to be doing? How are you going to have things? Or the past, where you reminisce, because we all reminisce, we all have these, they could be sparked memories, right? Song, someone in conversation, just out of clear blue, and it brings you back into the past where you had experienced in the now, which is now gone. But you retain that memory and those experiences, and you kind of embrace them at times, but you don't stay there. It's like those who always live in the future, right? You ever met anybody like that? Where they're constantly talking about what they're going to be doing tomorrow or the next day, or what they have planned 2 weeks from now, and what they're going to be doing and where they see themselves? Or those who live in the past, that they're just constantly reminiscing and talking about what they used to do, what they did, what they accomplished 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 10 years ago. Now, those folks sometimes will stay there so long that they take that past, they bring it into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past, and they relive that past in that future. That's why they will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, those that stay in the future, wondering all the time, this is what I'm going to be doing next week and the week after that, and then 3 years from now I'm going to be doing this, and I've got this planned 2 months from now. Those are living in the future. And I know it's difficult for some. Well, I've got to plan, and I have to have goals, and I have to set this up. This is where I want to be 5 years from now. How can you ever be there when you're only in the now? And in the now, you create the future. That's it. You create the future in the now. So you tailor it for you. You aren't concerned about 10 days from now, a year from now, a month from now. You're just not. You're only in the now. When we start projecting ahead of ourselves, we suffer. And we start projecting behind ourselves, we suffer. The now is it. It always has been. Calms us, relaxes us, eases us. We're only in the now. Our breath is the now. Space between heartbeats is the now. Moment to moment. Now, how do we stay in the now? Because we have all these thoughts, not our thoughts, mind you. Our thoughts, we know. Those thoughts that we send out, we generate them, and they create every single one of them. Over 60,000. But then we have tens of thousands and tens of millions of external thoughts, which are not ours, which are actually programs. That sometimes they're like clouds in the sky passing by, and we grab onto them. Do we do it intentionally? No. It's just out of habit. So we grab onto these thoughts and we ride them, and it takes us out of the now. So obviously we focus on our breath. Every single time we move off into thoughts out of the now, and every single time we focus on our breath. 3,000% of the time we'll be in the now. Now, we know that these bodies that we're in, which they're not us, we can see that from the tailbone to the top of the head, there are 7 lights. And they look like wheels. And they're known as chakras. And chakra means wheel. So there's 7 wheels of light. Now, these wheels of light are not physical, so to speak, in this world where you can pick them up. They're etheric spiritual energy, as we are etheric spiritual energy. So we flow through these bodies 24/7. In fact, we know these bodies down to the quantum core. We know the blood flow. We know the cells. We know the DNA. All the genes. We know this intimately. So when we decide to go within and discover who and what we are, we will know that we are the power of healing for these bodies. The souls that we are, the gods that we are, enter these bodies, power the body up, so that will sustain us. So the soul and the body, soul is the heaven, the body is the earth. We're literally heaven on earth. Those of us who are consciously aware, the parts of the gods that we are, that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. That's what we're consciously aware of. We communicate with the parts of the gods that we are that aren't consciously aware. Now, the other parts of the God that we are asleep. And they aren't going to wake up until they decide to wake up. So they're with us, but they don't participate in meditation. They don't really interact with us because they are completely out like a light. So those parts are all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is all the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Vedantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath her. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we've inhabited. All of the off-worlders, galactic celestials. And these are in the numbers of the Googleplexes. Googleplex 1 fills this entire universe with not even a sacred inch of sacred space to spare. And they come in trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of directions. They're all here with us. We're consciously aware of that because they're parts of us as we are parts of them. Now, the light energy beings with this planet, we don't see. They come in shape, color, sizes, forms, configurations. Because of the eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. Now, we are familiar with some and even have interacted with some. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Now, the off-worlders, galactic celestials, over 1,000 species travel through our solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. And we're familiar with just a handful of them. The Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the feline, the Zeta Reticuli, the Anunnaki, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution. These bodies, I mean. They've been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, the archangels, their civilization have vibrated at a different frequency than we do. We do not see them like we see each other. We do pass them by. We do interact with them. A lot of the times we don't, not sure if, this was a different feeling, a meeting, interacting with somebody. And usually it's after we have interacted with them. And it dawns on us from within, it was an angel. And you feel a little bliss. Now, they have a message that they give to all of us and have for lifetimes. And they deliver it in many different ways. And isn't it magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? To laugh, to cry, to smile, to taste, to smell, to touch. I mean, to experience sunlight on your face, a breeze across your body. Consuming a wonderful food, dish, whatever. It is absolutely magna glorious. And that is bliss once we acknowledge that, understand it. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands or even tens of millions. Reason is because their vibrational frequency allows them to hold a large number in a small area. And if you'd like them to surround you, ask them. They will. And you'll be in bliss. Now, ascended masters, they have mastered physical. They have mastered ascending into physical, out of physical, into pure consciousness, pure God form. We have ascended into physical. We are mastering physical. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, all of us, hundreds of millions of us on and off world, interconnected, one, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance, and we're all one. The God's within these bodies. We are all love. And we are all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This circle of light emanates from the kingdom of God, the God source, the God within each and every single one of us. It is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, 24/7. We begin to ascend above this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. And as we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It surrounds us. It's everywhere. And it is like reflecting, flashing, trillions of multicolored lights. In fact, it's flashing so fast it seems like it is on continuously. It's like a ballroom mirrored globe, except 1 trillion times more intense and massive in size. And so, as curious as we are, we look for the reflective point, and we discover that these are little microscopic, tiny etched mirrors. We enter them and discover that all of us, no matter what the housing that houses life, are learning and teaching from each other 24/7. Have you ever gotten irritated about with somebody that maybe you don't even know them? And you get irritated with yourself about them, and you say, wow, you know this, and then you start judging, right? And then instead you switch and say, what are they teaching me about me? Huh? Maybe someone that you believe thinks they know it all, right? Some of these arrogant people. Instead of asking yourself, why do I feel irritated with that? You know, you judge them and so on and so forth. But then you say, could it be that they're teaching me how not to be? It is amazing. We take it for granted or we don't think about it, but it's absolutely spectacular. We're either teaching, learning, teaching, or both. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we've created that reminds us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we've created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all that we are imbued from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, eternally, with a white fire armor. Way beyond any armor that you can conceive on this planet. And this white fire armor emanates from where? The God source, us. Can't be penetrated. No attachments, no demon possessions, No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. Nothing can harm us. Period. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, stress, worry, anxiety, revenge, hurriedness, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then there's many possibilities. Attachments, possessions, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, shenanigans. And if you do decide to do this, we're immediately met with a double column of light. The first part of this column is the purple transmuting flame. We created this to remind us all that we can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then we have the violet ray, the second part of that column of light. We created this to remind ourselves that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that the gods within these bodies are the sunlight. The sun sets and the sun rises. The rain and the rainbows. The trees, the forests, the soils, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We're everything. Everything is us. So the next time you see a starlit night sky, a sunset, a sunrise, clouds in the sky, it is you. You're the beauty. You're the majesty. You're the divine magnificence. It's the gods within these bodies. And as much as that ego mind would like to convince you otherwise, the bug is you. The rainbow is you. It's all you. We continue to ascend above the planet. And as we do, some of us step outside our physical form. If we're carrying physical form, hover effortlessly above it. Why do we do this? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower, and it's larger than this solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we see this magnificent oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this just vibrating golden white bowl of light. And it is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored light, and they're all vibrating, sending out these massive clouds of mist, sparkle. Looks like a multicolored light show within the clouds. And it's absorbed into us. It's like a warm embrace that never ends. And we notice that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest highest, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, peace, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss and joy, tranquility and abundance, great prosperity, great abundance. And then we discover that it is all a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. It is us. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now, as it's flooding all of us and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, with this highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest love. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Drops of the ocean, ocean are the drops. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere set in center circle. We all created this sphere moving towards 4 years ago. It holds over 1,600 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Every day. All of us gathered. It doesn't matter if we're a billion light years in distance. And these meditations, they don't weaken. They don't dissipate. They can't be breached, compromised, corrupted, or twisted. They continue to strengthen and they continue to expand. And we're all being flooded in them. All the time, 24/7. Not only us, this entire planet. All the planets in the solar system and beyond are being flooded nonstop. You can feel it any time by tapping into it through your heart mind, concentrating on your breath, focusing on your breath, sitting and just being, and you'll experience it. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. That is why it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Believe that to heal yourself is easy. You have powers inside you that are beyond amazing. Your soul is so powerful that any old trauma, dis-ease, or negative experience can be instantly transformed. Choose today to be the most powerful healing experience of your life. Let your mind go wild into the unknown with this possibility. The moment it does, you will feel and know in your heart your true spiritual nature is already complete and whole. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. Stop fighting with everyone and everything in your life today. Be totally relaxed and completely aware that there is a current of energy taking you down the river of this great existence. The body naturally knows how to find inner peace when you surrender and stop fighting this moment of your existence. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, in the following morning, and we will return here, October 26th, Tuesday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.